Hello and welcome to Weebanomics. This is Kyrie Luminous at KyrieLuminous on Twitter.com, and these are my co-hosts.
Hello, I'm Stonks at StonkyWonky on Twitter.com.
And I'm the Nonotaku at the Nonotaku at Twitter.com.
Smug?
Smug's not here. Smug's never here.
Smug fucking died.
I forgot.
Smug fucking died. I can't believe it.
Damn.
So, what's it called? What were we watching today, Kyrie? Something about my boring life of a high school dropout in another world.
That's literally just my life. But anyways, we are watching Are You the Only One Who Loves Me? I think is what its English name is.
Are you the only one who loves me?
Oh. Yeah. I forget its Japanese name.
Today we're gonna confirm that I have shit taste.
Fuck this show. But only the beginning.
I mean, the beginning got some laughs out of me, but not nearly enough to actually like it.
The first 4 episodes were literally torture.
I think it was like the first 6.
Yeah, first 6.
Like, oh my fucking god, I hate it. The way I described them is that they weren't characters. They weren't even fucking characters. They did not feel real at all.
And then, sometimes...
The only people that felt like actual characters is the main guy and Pansy. I'll let you finish what you were saying. Kyrie fucking died.
I died!
Sorry. And, in the first episode, it's like, oh, the president and everyone's and the other girl are airheads. And then a few episodes later, they're like tactical geniuses sometimes. It's like, what?
I think it was more that they, okay, so I thought they were airheads as well, but then they're tactical geniuses later. But then I, think about it more. It's like, okay, they're just socially inept. But the thing is, to the extent on how socially inept they are, it makes no sense with how crazy of a tactical genius in predicting, of what people do. Actually, no, they're actually just airheads as well. Because there was a few parts that is just it doesn't matter how socially inept you are, you can't do that without being that dumb. And the biggest part was when they completely fucked up the plan on how he was trying to get them to hook up with his friend. And then they were like, oh, yes, thank you. It's like changing up the strategy changing up the plan as it happened. And then they're like, what? And it's like, no, nothing. And then the other girl is like, wait, but you just said my lines. And it's like, hey, and just kept going on. Just right in front of him, literally doing all that shit. And it's like none of this sounds like a real thing that would happen. But yeah, none of this. Yeah, as I was saying, none of that felt like a real thing was happening. That just felt so. It didn't even feel anime. It didn't feel like real life. It literally just felt like almost NPC dialogue.
Yeah.
But worse.
Why did I feel like I was playing Skyrim? Honestly.
But yeah, is there anything you have to say about the show, Kyrie? Because I have a lot to say as well.
I just hated it, but I really liked the movie. The movie was like, okay, this is okay.
So I really is there any reasons why you disliked it?
We've been over they're basically not even characters. They're not funny. It's not even so bad. It's not even so bad. It's fun. It's more like it's so bad and uncanny.
That it's actually bad.
Yeah, it's so bad that it's bad.
So, what's it called? So when I say that, I'm speaking strictly like the first half of it. The last half and the movie was actually pretty fucking good. The one thing, even when it was getting good though, there's one thing I hated, and that's just how rushed it is. Like other stories, like the arcs that they do, other stories would be like would take almost like 12 episodes to do, and they will do it in 1 or 2 episodes. Like other anime is like, oh, you see this plot? This plot is like a 12 episode anime kind of plot, and they're like, nope, let's just do it all in 1 or 2 episodes. Fuck it. Why not? Creative medium, go fuck yourself. Oh man, I don't know. It was like when they actually started to get good, it just blew way too fast. The only one I feel they actually took enough time on was the final arc. And that's because it's the last 3 episodes and an entire movie. Oh, man. And we'll get to that later. But first, I still want to talk about the beginning, because I am not going to get over that fucking beginning. There's so much shit I want to say about it.
I gotta give this man a golf clap for being rejected so many times. Actually.
Oh man.
The bench was fun, but stupid.
One part I actually like I thought was ridiculous, but I liked it every time anyways, is the idea that bench is everywhere.
Yeah, every time that, like, after the second time, every time that bench came up, I fucking almost cried of laughter, actually.
I know. Yeah, it was so fucking...
That was actually fucking funny.
I was like, no way. No way.
No way. Why is it that?
The only one time they explain it in a place where it shouldn't be, at the library, is like, oh, we had it express ordered. It's like, wait, that doesn't explain why it's there. Oh, man. And then, so, what's it called? There's just all these random rooms that a park bench has no right to be at.
Like, the funniest one I thought was with the blue girl, Hina. Like, when that happened, that one got the most laugh out of me. That one was really out of nowhere.
Yeah, it was literally on top of the schoolyard, just like where nothing's supposed to be, and then the only thing is just in the middle is this bench bolted to the ground. It's like, what? Oh man. But I gotta say,
like, as time went on, it became like a bit better.
Okay, so the reason I feel that is because I think they actually like ditched the like super fucking because so the characters were like super inconsistent at the beginning. They were like super either really fucking smart or super really dumb, and it was all dependent on what the plot needed them at the exact moment. And
plot armor.
And that's not plot armor. But what's it called? Whatever the plot really needed them at that exact moment, and it just did not make them feel real, like at all, like anything. And they dropped that around episode 6 or so, give or take, and they actually become characters and actually stay consistent from that moment on. And that's when it was like, oh, that's like that's how they actually.
Those guys exist.
So I literally have to look at Mal to remember those two people's names, the Ankino and Hinata. Those two, fuck them. Like, literally, not literally. I mean, like, what's it called? Just, oh my god, I hate them.
And the mom. I didn't like her. just because her voice didn't match her what she looked like.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you even mentioned it. You were like,
I was
"Oh my god," you were pissed.
I was
You're not
like,
pissed, but
it wasn't like pissed. It was like, this doesn't sound at all like it's coming from her. That sounded like it was coming from, like, you know, one of those freaking 10-year-old lollies or whatnot.
Yeah.
10-year-old lolly with a MILF body. And it was so uncanny. Oh my god. So what's it called? Hinata and Akino. I just really hated them. Like, what's it called? Like, you get so they give you the backstory of Hinata's been there pretty much ever since they started school with him. And so they've literally lived their entire lives together, growing up and everything like that. And Akino has always been like his senpai and whatnot, and has been the student council president, and is always like Little Miss Good Two Shoes and whatnot, and just extremely competent and smart and at literally everything she does, and will go and do all this shit. Like, will go above and beyond. This guy has always been there for both of them through thick and thin, always been their friends, always helping them out, always everything. And then they have the goal to go up to him and do all that shit. All that shit. Accused him of lying, and refused to listen to him at that time, and literally said they're like, before they would even hear him out, said that they thought they were friends, but I guess not. This one interaction that they completely mistook will never, ever make amends and whatnot, or anything like that. It just got to, like, this, like, so extreme level of hatred, and then they fully abandoned him. Like, completely abandoned him. They did not want to hear his side. They didn't want anything with him. Like, this was like 100% like isolation, rejection, 100. And I was just absolutely livid at that. If that was me, I would have never have taken them back, ever. Like, this is like one of those things. It's like, it's not like they got something wrong. That's not the issue. It's not even the issue of anything like that. It's literally a personality issue. If you have the personality that will go, and this person has been there for you your entire life, and then you refuse to even listen to them when you think something happened, that is like one of the most shitty things you can possibly do. And I fucking hated these fuckers for that. I, like, legitimately just, like, throughout the entire show, as much as the main character was liking them, and I was like, nah. Like, there's literally, like, because of them, there's literally only one obvious choice. Like, the girl with glasses is great and all, but it also just makes you realize just how much shittier the other options are. Like, holy fuck. The girl with blue hair as well, Hina, from what it looks like, yeah.
Yeah.
Also fuck her as well, because what's it called? She literally wanted to be with him so bad that she went and slandered the fuck out of him and everything like that, to the point of what's it called? That she was just trying to get him away from everyone and wanted him to spend only time with him. And the way to do that is just destroy his reputation, destroy how everyone perceives him. Completely, yeah, I don't know, literally ruin his life so that his life has more time for her. And I was like, no, like,
that's crazy.
Like, a lot of these bitches, I'm just like, fuck no. Like, I like crazy bitches. I like yanderes and everything. But these bitches are just terrible. There's literally only one good choice. Literally. Like, I like how the show tries to pretend like there's like all these good options and whatnot. Like the other option they try to pretend is good. It's like that one tsundere redhead girl that also just went after him after an accusation. Even when it said, I don't know if it's true or not, she's still acting like super bitchy to him. And it's like, what the fuck? The only other good choice was Chiharu, and even then, she didn't actually love him or anything. She was like literally just admiring how much he was there for his friends. It's like out of everything, there's literally only one good choice if you were to actually make a choice. So it's a quote unquote harem with there only being one reasonable choice. Everyone else is either a total fucking bitch or is the absolute worst person when you actually get down to it. And I don't mean like worst as in like what's it called? Like their day-to-day life is worse. I mean worse as in if shit hits the fan, what are their personalities like? And that the way their personalities are like are the absolute worst of the fucking worst. It is proven every fucking time. Every fucking time. Like, I don't think there is a single time that, no. There is only one time where they, see the error of their ways. But that's only after they have to have a mountain of evidence to drop on their lap to tell them that y'all bitches are be crazy, y'all bitches are wrong, and y'all bitches better fucking make amends for the rest of your life. Because like, they literally thought the main character, Kizaru, was like everything that was like super fucking bad, like this worst, like the worst of the worst and everything, even though he was trying to help. But Sunchan was actually the one who was like pure evil, pure manipulating, and just like everything, like from every point of the fucking show. And then he was like, and then they had to witness it for themselves from afar without anyone knowing and everything. And they had to force the person to admit to everything that happened. Like, they had to have so much fucking evidence just to do it. It's like, I understand wanting some, but I still just hate the idea that they had to really just not even listen to him for even a moment. Holy shit, I fucking hated that so goddamn much. Every single one of these girls, I would never forgive. I don't think I would ever forgive them. Like, what's it called? I like how inside the I don't know which episode it was, but after all that happened, Pansy was like, I like that you're coming to the library, but I can't accept the reason that you're not coming to the library. It's because you want to make amends with him. And I'm just like, fuck no. I would never make amends with any of them. I think if it was me in that situation, I would have literally just completely forgotten about all of them and just stayed with Pansy for the rest of the time.
For real.
Because what's it called? Like, they threw him away into the trash, left him for dead. Literally They didn't care what happened to him. They literally did not care what was happening to him. Like, that's the shit that was happening to him. Oh my god. They like, whether he lived or died, they didn't give a shit until all that shit was just like dumped on him, that they were wrong about everything, which was actually very obvious that they should have been wrong because their stories didn't make any fucking sense. But aside from that, oh my god, I don't know, I was just completely fucking pissed about all of that. That was one rant. Anyone else have a rant?
Let me think.
I think Kyrie wants to go.
Let me think. That blue-haired bitch, man. I cannot look past her. Like, I will destroy your life and make sure no one ever cares about you ever again, so that way you're mine. That made no sense at all. What was with her? Okay, that's it.
Oh, that was quick.
Yeah.
Stonks.
Well, okay, so I didn't really hate it, but I didn't like it either. Like, I like and really hate on is like the pacing. I didn't really like it, and like a couple of fucking characters.
Yeah.
Like fucking. They all simp for fucking Sunchan, and he's not even attractive or something. Like, how? Oh, he missed a fucking baseball. He missed a
Oh, he
fucking baseball
cried.
game.
Okay, so I thought that was also fucking hilarious. How everyone's love of their life all came back to that single fucking baseball game.
One fucking baseball game set up the entire story.
And it ended with an entire story, and ended with a baseball game too.
Yeah. It,
Like,
yeah.
every time they went back to that fucking scene, I was like, again? Seriously?
I kind of, like, I thought, okay, the first time was just funny. I was like, huh, that's weird. The second time made me chuckle a little bit more. The third time, I'm like, what? It's like, no way. The fourth time, I just chuckled a bit, and then, like, as it kept going, I was like, it was one of those things, like, the more it happens, the more ridiculous it seems, and the funnier it gets. It's like when iDubbbz was making fun of Leafy. It's like, it's one of those jokes you have to say over and over again for it to really get funny. And it's like, in this case, it actually is. You have to actually keep doing the joke for it to get funnier, because it gets more and more ridiculous the more it happens. It's literally that and the park bench. It just gets funnier as it goes on. Ugh. I was like, I didn't think there was ever a joke that would make me laugh the more times it's shown. But this show is literally the only show I've ever seen that actually made that possible. It's just constantly making me laugh even more the more times they tell that joke.
Like, if they did it with one thing, like the bench, then okay, that is still pretty funny. But also a baseball game, nah. The baseball game didn't really hit me.
Yeah, I thought it was fucking hilarious. What's it called? So the thing is, when I was with Kyrie and watching it, I kept thinking of one thing, and what's it called? Because I was trying to guess what the plot twist of the show was going to be, and I was constantly hoping and hoping and hoping what it was, and it kind of is it near the end. And it might actually be canon at the end with the way it ended. We're not sure, but what's it called? What I was hoping, purely because I saw so many things that they could have done with it, was the main character. I wanted the main character, what's it called, to sit down with Sun-chan, and I wanted Sun-chan to confess his love for the main character to him. And that would have just been so fucking funny to see him trying to hook up the two girls to someone who is gay. And also after the booty of the main character. Oh man, I would have died laughing, because he's just like, where do you go from there? How do you even begin to explain the situation? How do you even... It's like, I'm sorry. Not only are y'all not his type, but he's gay. But not just gay. This person that you want, that you love and want to devote your life to, he likes me. The person you came for help.
That would have been funny, not gonna lie.
Like, holy shit. It was so insane. But you know what? But as I was watching it and like highly disappointed about a lot of shit, there was enough twist into it that I look back on it, and I think like the progression itself and the plot that they did was good writing. How they did the characters, on the other hand, is a different story, as I was saying. But what's it called? Like, the actual thing that they did for it was good. I somewhat am like conflicted on Sun-chan. So what's it called? I honestly think it was like super inconsistent to make Sun-chan like this guy who literally held like this massive grudge for so many years, hiding his personality and just waiting to get back at the main character and whatnot. And then for him to just drop it like 100%, like to like an insane degree, to the point that he wins his baseball game and everything. And then he also goes and becomes the boyfriend of the girl he loved the most, only for him to break off the deal. And then so that the girl that he loved the most could go for the main character who he can't even confess to. It was like, okay, it's like I don't think the character was set up to be that fucking benevolent at all. Because even with the change that he did, I don't think the change that he did warrants like that level of benevolence. Like, literally the quote unquote arc that he went to was, hey, don't be this fucking plotting, grievance, backstabbing piece of shit forever. Don't play dirty and whatnot. And it was like, and then so he actually did play fair. He 100% played fair and got the girl. None of that was dirty or anything. No underhanded methods. It was literally him being him and everything like that. And then just gave it up. We know why he did it. He did it to protect her from the other guy. But still, it's just one of those things. It's like I don't think his character was set up to be like that hyper benevolent. But then again, at the very end, after all that's said and done, he went out crying on the field on just how great it was and everything. And then he runs off into the sunset with the main character. The main character found him crying, cheered him up, had him sit on the bench with him, and and he's like almost leaning on him, and they're just sharing the fucking fried whatever. I don't even remember the fried food. And it was almost like a fucking yaoi scene the entire time, and I'm just like, It's like, are they actually going with that plot now? Is he part of this gigantic fucking harem?
If only.
What?
If only.
It kind of seemed like it.
Yeah. They were cute at the swim space. That episode was just like, oh, the girls are assholes, and then Sunchan comes and covers them.
Yeah, I don't like, what's it called? I forgive a lot of people for a lot of shit. The extent that I would forgive someone is like pretty high. But there's just some things that if you ever did, I would never forgive you, because if you will literally like completely cut ties and don't care if someone dies, or literally one situation and you refuse to hear them out, and you're all wrong about that situation, then I would never fucking forgive them. Because what's it called? It's one of those things, like, if you died and they never found out that they were wrong, they wouldn't have cared. they felt like super fucking vindictive fucking bitches. It was like, how do you go what like 10 years knowing some guy, literally being your best and only friends, by the way. They're only fucking friends, the best friends of 10 fucking years, give or take, and then treat them like that. I would, no, I don't think I could ever forgive someone like that. Like, the anime likes to play it off like it was a cutesy quirk of a bad fucking like moment that they made of misjudgment, but I don't think they understood just how bad of a person they just made all those characters. Like, those are like completely unforgivable traits. I don't know. I don't know what someone would have to do to make up for something like that. Because that is like such a huge fucking thing. Yeah, it's just insane. I don't know, what do you think?
I think you should never have forgiven any of them. They were all awful people. All of them. Just assholes. For like a good portion of the show.
I mean, it's hard to say Pansy was.
Okay, she wasn't. She was cute.
There was,
even when she did manipulate him.
I mean, I wouldn't say that.
Well,
she did provoke some of it. Not intentionally, in the way that she didn't plan like 100% of it out. She wasn't like manipulating it to lie to each other or anything like that. She was manipulating it for people to show their true feelings and everything, and what they believe in. Was trying to make everyone come out 100% truthful. Like, that was the extent she was manipulating it. And it's like, was that good or bad? I mean, some of the moments was because of her, that why those happened. So it's up to you whether you want to think she's good or bad. I personally think she's good. Everyone else can go eat a dick.
Seems legit.
Yeah, so what's it called? Despite that extreme level of hatred, I still think it was like a really fucking nice show at the second half to the end, because they actually started making them characters. And one of the things that the show tries to do that it seems like they quote unquote tried to change, but without really addressing it, is what's it called? The student council president heard the claims of what he was and whatnot. Of course, she didn't believe it because what's it called? It clearly involved her. So she didn't she instantly knew it was false, and then just like knew exactly what humans would do, and then made the most Death Note-esque kind of fucking plan to catch them doing everything wrong, and caught them on video, on everything, and just everything, like so insane and whatnot. But what that scene was trying to do was show that they changed and showed that they wouldn't believe like accusations against someone without proof anymore. Is like, I honestly think that was what that arc was supposed to do. The issue with that is I think in the context of that arc, it was very weak because they knew it was false because it involved them. And it's like, if they, like, that's one of the things I would have loved it to have had, like, these massive accusations against him that didn't involve any of them. And for them to make amends is literally stand by him and all that shit. And it's like, if they did something like that, I think they would all been redeemed as characters or as like people and whatnot, because that shows that they actually put the effort and time into changing it. But when it came down to it, the story like literally involved them. It's like, yeah, of course they're not going to believe it because it's literally in their best interest to not believe it as well. Like, you can't just make it like that. Ugh. I don't know. But what's it called? It's just one of those things. But yeah, what's it called? They did get a lot better as characters as time went on. The issue is you just can't get any proof of it. I mean, they're still like completely fucking selfish to the very end. Yeah, one of the things that I hated with the ending though is the making them like super smart and everything, but then when that judgment comes and they're like, wait, I want to change it, and it's like, there's no changing. Wait, I want to give them more. There's more. You can't only give one. And it was like, okay, like, wait, this is like obvious that they wouldn't be able to do that, and yet they're fucking just shouting, oh, I'm just gonna do that then. And it was like, that's literally against the rules. Ugh. The rules that they set up. By the way, if I could have Kyrie confirm it, but I only found out after that Kyrie was not even awake. But
I fell asleep at around episode 11.
Yeah, what's it called? At the end of episode 12, I said, I know exactly how this is going to end. Which I was mostly right. I just didn't predict the scope of how it was going to end. So, what I said was, yeah, I said something along the lines of, all six of them are going to give, no, not all six. The five girls are all going to give, Hazuki, are going to give Hazuki's the hairpins. All, like, five of them. And the only one that's not going to do it is Pansy. Pansy's going to give it to the main character. But the main character is going to win anyways, because he's going to convince the rest of his harem and, like, some other people to go give him hair clips. Because I took a look at the rules and tried to think of how many loopholes there are. And, what's it called? And with all the specifications, I knew that it allowed for more people to come in and join. And so I knew it was gonna end out like that. Although what I did not see coming was Hatsuki literally getting an entire school to come and give him hair clips and hairpins and whatnot. But the moment he did that, I knew what the main character was going to do. And I was like, all right, I know how it's going to end. The baseball game, he's going to win, and he's been convincing people from the entire baseball game. And all the baseball players have convinced all the girls and just everything to come give him clips. I was like, oh, yeah, like, the moment that that happened, I was like, okay, I know how this is going to end. Because, what's it called? When you make an ending that seems so good, so, like, freaking, like, throwing, like, so much wrenches in the plan, and there's only one way to beat it, like, that, it has to be that. It's like, what's it called? It's, what's it called? When a magic show is too good, or a magic trick is too good. What's it called? Because you know the magic is not real. When it's too good and has, like, absolutely no flaws in it, what's it called? There will ultimately be no other way to perform that magic trick. So everyone knows what the secret is just from looking at it. And it kind of ruins it. That's what it kind of felt at the end and whatnot. And it's like, it was too predictable on how he was going to get the rest of the clips. I was literally calling it out way before it happened. And I was like, okay. But regardless, it was, like, super interesting to watch. I think the what's it called? I really thought the water park episode was fucking hilarious. Oh man. What do y'all think of the water park episode?
I liked the water park episode. It was pretty great.
Yeah.
That got a lot of chuckles out of me.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know the name of the person who was watching with us. Sloth. The sloth guy.
Yeah, sloth guy.
I don't know, predicted who was going to win way before it happened. So at the second girl, he already predicted who was going to win. And I was like, probably right. And he was right. The one who won the challenge, which was the person who he had the most fun with at the water park, was Sun-chan. Of the three girls he spent all his time with, Sun-chan was literally there to protect him and everything from every bad thing that was happening. And he literally made, like, what's it called? Every single thing that happened that was, like, bad, Sun-chan was there to fix it for him. He was like the ultimate bro in that situation. But he became, like, far more than the ultimate bro at the very end. But, you know, it's like, I don't know if I'd buy it. Like, his character naturally progressed in that way. Yeah. I remember I was just calling his character, like, bad writing for being, like, this, like, overly fucking, like, good and innocent. Is like he's either fucking, like, hiding his feelings and is, like, secretly plotting something for the end, or he's just what's it called, or he's just actually kind of what the fuck, because it's like you don't hold a grudge for that fucking long and try, and just because you failed once, you suddenly become this hyper benevolent person that pretty much will take care of the person who you tried to wrong. Like, I don't think that's how that would actually play out. But then the movie came. The movie was actually a lot more about Sun-chan than it was anyone else. And the movie actually showed why he became a lot more nicer and whatnot. So it's like, okay, I think him becoming like that nice and everything to him was justified with giving all that backstory and whatnot. But I don't think it made him so hyper benevolent that he what's it called, would just give up the girl of his dreams. But I don't know, one of those things.
Yeah.
Because what's it called? He did say why he because he said why he lost to the main character, why he lost that girl to the main character and whatnot, and that he's going to win her back sometime in the future and whatnot. And then he did exactly like everything. He did exactly how he said he was going to win her back. 100%. But yeah, and but he still gives it up at the very end, so I just like how I kind of wonder if the main character, the main girl, Pansy, knew the real personality of Hazuki. Because Pansy kept saying how he is a good person, but he's like, he hurts everyone around him without noticing and whatnot. And then his true personality comes out. And it's like, absolutely nothing of what she described of what his true personality is. Now I'm just like, I wonder if she could even couldn't even tell that. Is there any other scenes y'all want to talk about?
Not really.
Yeah, it's pretty stupid. Let me think.
I will say later on in the series, I actually started getting like really fucking invested in the story, and like really started liking a lot of it. I just did not like how quick they were being with some of the arcs. I was like, I wanted more time, more fleshed out. And I was like, this series would be a lot better. Like, a lot fucking better if it was a 24 episode series.
How come?
Because then it would take. Because then like every arc would have more time.
Yeah, literally, they would flesh out all these. You literally made the criticism as well that the arcs were too fast.
Yeah. I did?
You literally said that at the start.
Remember you mentioned the pacing?
Yeah, I did.
Oh gosh, I hate you so much.
Yeah. Literally, if they spent more time with each arc and whatnot, I think it would have benefited the show a lot more rather than hurt the show. Because I know a lot of shows that did 24 episodes and they had like a lot of episodes that really just dragged. But I think this is one of those that actually would have benefited from it far more than it would have hurt it. But that's just that. What do you think?
I agree. It would have been better, more. This series was kind of like,
it had so much fucking potential. That's what this series is.
Yeah.
The potential was so high, like through the fucking roof high, and it had brilliant fucking concepts of a lot of things on it. And the characters were overall really good, with the exception of like the way they got introduced and everything. And it's like their introductions and whatnot will never leave your mind on just how fucking shitty of a person they are.
Yeah.
But what's it called? Overall, like if that never happened, they still would have been pretty selfish and whatnot, and pretty shitty in some regards. But overall, they would just be a normal fucking character that is actually pretty good, and people that have your back whenever whenever shit hits the fan. I wouldn't say have the back in that situation. have their back only when they have literally all the evidence in the world to prove that they are in the right. Because the it has yet to show what they would do in any situation that they don't have a mountain of evidence to prove it. I mean, even at the end where he's trying to what's it called? Think of it at the very end on the book that he talked about, the women's privilege, which is 100% true. But what's it called? The woman's privilege of being able to act selfish and everything like that. And what's it called? They all three he thought was gonna get on her side. Oh my god. Yeah, but then all three of them gave the other guy the hair clip. Their reasoning was if she was out of the way, then what's it called? Then they would no longer be able to date her. And this is where you like I don't think the author understood just how shitty they made them again. Because what's it called? Because the actual deal of it was this. What like if the whoever loses this deal can't speak or approach or anything of the sense to Pansy. Which, by the way, if he did lose, I knew there was also still a loophole with the wording, and that's literally just her changing her name. But aside from that, which would have been a very interesting fucking thing. But yeah, aside from that, if aside from that, no one could approach or do anything, and like this was one of his best friends and everything, and they all voted against him, which means they literally are trying to vote for him to end their friendship, like 100%. Now they gave the reason that because they want him, so they want to be in a relationship with him, and they want to pick being friends with her and also trying to love him. And then I'm just like, but you what? You literally are forcing him to not be friends with her forever. You like your whole thing of wanting to be friends with everyone there, like everyone being friends is just not a thing there. And then it gets even worse when they found out the rule change. It's like, oh, and everyone who is a friend of hers also can't do it. And it's like, then they're like, oh, wait, it would be bad if I am no longer friends with her. And I was like, wait, you are perfectly content with him no longer being friends with her. But when you hear that you're no longer friends with her, now it's bad. But another thing that happened was they're also voting. They're trying to vote him to actually get with her in one sense. I mean, technically, it's just think of his feelings for her, but at the same time, it's like it's kind of hinted that she's a typical woman who probably doesn't know how to deny her or deny him, and that if he like was so upfront and whatnot, she couldn't think of a reason to say no and might say yes. And so they were pretty much just having her voted against and pretty much setting her up with someone who she has said quite a lot in her past that she fucking hates him. So when it comes down to it, it's like a lot of these characters are just fucking plain evil. Like their true personality is selfishness to an insane degree. Oh man, I don't know. It's like as much as I want to think that they changed and whatnot, there's always something inside the show that makes them not have changed, to show that they haven't changed. There always is. It's like every time you feel, hey, they may have gotten better or whatnot, then something happens. Boom. No, they're not better. They're actually still pretty evil. Oh, maybe the person who writes stories about him will no longer go and write slanderous articles or anything like that about him. Oh, he did something she doesn't like. She starts instantly jotting it down with the worst interpretation possible. Which is actually really funny when you think about it, in the sense of if that is supposed to be journalism. With the media is like, what's it called?
It pretty much is.
While is like they're trying to not lie as much as possible, they're slanting it in the other way so hard and giving as little context as possible to write something that is pretty much slanderous. Oh man, it was just absolutely hilarious, but at the same when you think about it like actual journalism, but it's pretty shitty when you think about it as an actual person.
Absolutely the worst.
Yeah, it was like I mean, the favorite list shows like what's it called? Exactly how everyone felt of the characters. Akino, 100. Hinata, 50. Main character, almost 500. The other person, 50. The mom, 0. The twins, 1 and 3. The idol girl, what's it called? Like 100. No, the idol girl's 7. This is the tsundere girl, 100. The friend, 33. The one that was supporting them through everything, the one that said that they would live their life for, I'm surprised that's not higher. That's like 32. And then there's the main fucking female at 1,500. Literally everyone else could be added together and then doubled and still not even reach close to what she has. Of favorites when it comes down to this. And it's like it shows like a very clear, this is the better character in the entire show. I don't think there was anyone more like, it's like the writers put all their time and attention on one or two characters. Like they put all their time and attention on two characters, the main character and the main female. And then the rest they kind of just added as it went on. It almost feels like they made it a harem for the sake of being a harem. Just so that they can have the funny fucking ending or whatnot. But yeah, like the main girl just far outclasses everyone else in like every possible way. Although one of the things that would concern me is her ability to pretty much read everyone's mind. Like that is insane. No matter what you do, you come up to her and ask her something, she knows instantly what your true intention is and what you actually mean and whatnot. I'm just like, holy shit. By the way, she is also completely perfect because she stalks you.
Yeah,
like that is perfect waifu material. Yeah, so what's it called? Other things that was crazy is there was a lot of anime references.
Yeah.
Like a lot. I noticed
Star Wars.
Yeah, there was a Star Wars one when it started showing the bench after every time. Because every time they showed a bench, they would add something and whatnot. And one of the times they did is the Star Wars dun 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 dun. Like when the fucking
Oh,
bitch
right.
shows up. What?
Yeah, I was.
You remember that?
I was thinking about it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember it.
And I was like, that's fucking like when Darth Vader shows up in the Star Wars. Well, actually, it's a lot of things in it, but like the Darth Vader scene always pops in my head whenever I hear that. But what's it called? So it just made me fucking burst out laughing. But not just that. A lot of the reactions that they did, one was like very clearly Death Note. Like there was no other way. You know, so what's it called? There's this one scene where Light goes, "Damn it, he got me." And he's holding his head and like looking serious, and that's like when he lost. Yeah, he literally does that scene like completely 100%. But, you know, maybe that was a coincidence and whatnot. And I thought maybe and whatnot. But I did pause it to say that, hey, this is like that Death Note scene and whatnot. But then later on, you see, like, they completely change art styles to do their references and whatnot. And I was like, oh, this is all intentional. And you show there was one from Kaiji. It was literally a Kaiji reference. And then there was one from that... God, I keep forgetting the name of it, but it's like a really fucking old 80s anime. That a lot like to consider like I don't know. She's in like a very skimpy brawling bikini outfit. She flies, has green hair. I keep forgetting what it.
I don't remember either.
It's like tiger stripes and whatnot.
Something
I
like
never
that.
watched it. I know a lot of people is like, how the fuck can you be an otaku without watching it? It's like, I never watched it. I don't care. I come back to me when you've seen more than what I've seen. But what's it called? It's like I completely can't remember a lot like the actual name to some of the references they did, but I know of the references they did. One just completely bugged me because I couldn't even get like an idea of what it was, but I know I've seen it before. And I was like, I know I have seen this before, but I have absolutely no fucking idea what it is. Because at least with the one before that, I just didn't remember the name, but I knew what it was. The one after it, I know I've seen it, but I had no clue what the name was. I had no clue what it originally was. I can't even picture what the original thing was at all. Like, I can't even think it in my fucking head. And then the last one, I was like, this is obviously a reference. I have absolutely no idea what it's from, though. But they did a lot of fucking references to other shows and whatnot. Like, I feel I could talk a lot about why this show was actually good, but it feels like that would be too much of a spoiler. Because if you actually did go into depth on why this show was good, you would ruin a lot of the reason. Like, you would not reason to watch. You would ruin a lot of the reason it's so good at the same time is because I think I can explain it without doing it. Because the thing is, a lot of the show is a bait and switch. Just almost all of it's red herrings. It's trying to get you like, this is the story, this is the way it's going to go, and everything like that. But then it pretty much pulls the rug out of you and it's like, boom, nope. It's actually been set up so that you think it was going to go this way, but it actually goes this way. Which after it became pretty obvious what the stuff was actually going to do. But none of it started feeling like, after a while, none of it felt like an ass pull or anything like that. It's like, no, it clearly did set all this up so that it could go this way. It's like, yeah, it definitely has a really good, this is where the thing goes, but it's not actually whatnot kind of story. And it's like, you know what, I decently liked it. In the end, I gave it like a 6 because of I really hated the beginning. I would put the beginning at like a 2 or something, but the last half of it just is like 8 to 9. And then I thought, like, damn, that was really fucking good.
I give it like the beginning, like a 4 or something, but at the end, I give it like a 7 or something.
The movie, I'd give like a 9 or 10. Like, holy shit.
Movie, I would say 8.5.
I've always loved the idea that people give like 8.5. It's like, okay, what made it like not an 8, but not quite a 9?
No questions asked.
So you can't answer what made it like an 8, but not a 9, or not quite an not as bad as an 8, but not as good as a 9.
Yeah.
All right. But nah, it's one of those things like there's just a few flaws in it that I disliked in the movie. And it's just mostly has to do with like the show trying to portray the girls as if they are actually good people and whatnot. And the show actually goes and tries to show that they are good people. The character that says that they can see everyone's true personality and knows whether or not they are good people. It's like, oh yeah, they are good people. But in every instance, it like every instance that you could be shown whether they're good or bad people, they pretty much always go the route of they're actually bad people. So it's like, that's one of the things. Like, the author, I think, only knew how to write like 2 really fucking good characters. That was the main character and the main female lead, Nancy. But the rest of them is kind of like they would be good if it wasn't for like their beginning, and maybe also take out the end of their character.
They just started existing after episode 6.
Yeah, pretty much. They started actually becoming the characters around that episode. But yeah.
And anything else?
Let's see.
Did you run out of rage?
Nah. I think it was interesting. What's it called? The idea of Hazuki, who looked almost exactly like the main character with some differences. And that was on purpose.
Oh, that guy.
What?
That guy.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So he was from the other school and whatnot. And he was literally the most popular person in all of existence because he pretty much was the model good guy student. Like, the absolute epitome of it.
So those 2 girls that were always with him, like, what were their names? Cherry and...
that's not their real names, but it was Cherry and I don't know, Luna.
Amy. They just didn't have a purpose to exist.
I mean, they had a purpose.
Not really.
So their purpose was literally what's it called? The same they pretty much are showing that they are what the route that Ankino and Hinata were taking originally. When both of them went and were supporting Sun-chan to get with Pansy. And that was the route that they were originally going to go until the main character, it's like everything that the main character did for them all got shown like to their face, and eventually they kind of dropped that and whatnot. So yeah, so it came down to the thing that that is what their point was. Their point was literally to just show that is what they were going to do and why it was bad for them to go down that path. And one of them tried to show that not only was that a bad path to go down, they were trying to help them and change them to no longer go down that path. Which it worked on one of them, not so much the other.
Alright.
But yeah, and now they are actually going to try to get with him now that he's no longer allowed to do absolutely anything associating with her or her friends. Can't talk to them, can't approach them, can't do anything. But yeah.
Does Kyrie want to get something off her mind?
Nope, I'm good.
I mean, I would say it's time for the most famous and some say infamous part, but I think it's pretty obvious.
It's the only good girl. It's
literally the only one who's actually a character and the only one who is redeemable in any way, shape, or form. Actually,
although I suppose maybe
like that.
It depends on your taste if you think the president is hotter, though.
Like, okay. So, who's gonna go first?
I think we all just did.
Yeah, it's all of us. We all agreed that Pansy's the winner.
Like, okay, personality, yes. I did like Cosmos' design. The president's design.
So she's your looks?
Looks, yeah.
Alright.
Like, they didn't have a personality.
So Stonks is proving more that he just has bad taste.
Did you just realize?
No. I said proving more.
Yeah. I know I have bad taste. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so, what's it called? When it comes down to it, I don't think there's much of a argument on who on that. It's like I wish this show had the characters more fleshed out and better and I wish better thought was put into how does this make these characters seem. Because I know the author wanted to make them look like they had flaws. I know they wanted to make them look like that. But the shit that he did actually was so fucking huge. I think he accidentally made these characters like beyond redeemable. Because, Kyrie, I don't know if you were here, but I explained how even at the end they did shit that made them seem beyond redeemable at the end.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. It just I wish the other characters were just written better. But, because just a lot of them just seemed flat out inconsistent and whatnot. One of the things that I severely hated was the tell episode where it was showing that people were having a tell on whether or not they're lying. I actually hated that episode so fucking much. The reason being is, what's it called? There's lying happening throughout, like, a lot of the story. But they aren't doing the tells that they did. Like, throughout the story, there's a lot of lying, but they weren't doing the tells. But that one episode, the tells is the plot twist of the story, of the arc. And it's like, oh, you know that X and Y thing does and everything, blah 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 blah, and all of that. But when it comes down to it, that just isn't. That just isn't shown anything from then on, or from it isn't. It isn't a thing from before that episode, and it isn't a thing after that episode, with the exception of one time. And it's very clear that there's like other times they start lying and they're not doing it. Like the main character will pinch his freaking he'll pinch his thumb to his first knuckle of his index finger. And when he's lying, Hinata, when she's lying, she'll twist her eyes. I think he said left 2 times and right once. And whatnot. And that's never a thing from then on. So yeah, like that also annoyed the shit out of me. I was like, I honestly say never do those kind of episodes. Any episodes where it goes, oh, like this person, they have a tell when they lie. Anytime they lie, they do this and whatnot. It's like, I hate those episodes. Never have them, because either you should be consistent through the entire show and do it way back then, or just don't do it at all.
I agree.
I did say I think this show was built on the idea of watching it week by week and not watching it in one sitting, though. Because just how fast the arcs are going and the way they end off and whatnot, I honestly think it was a week by week thing that should have been done, except for the very end. The very end, the last 3 episodes in the movie, should all be watched in succession, all binged. The rest feel like they're supposed to be watched week by week. But yeah. Does anyone have anything else to add to this? Kyrie, what did you rate it?
3.
Yeah.
Maybe 4 by the end.
Yeah.
Maybe.
The only thing I see from going back into the chat of what it is I pretty much said they're far too unnatural. They don't even feel like characters, except for the main character and the glasses girl, is what I said at the time. But yeah. Yeah, that was my reaction to episode 1 and 2. Was they flat out don't feel like characters except for the main character and the glasses girl. But yeah, they completely just kept pissing me off. But I just saw by episode 4.
Did you just say episode 4?
By episode 4, Kyrie was already just ready to book a flight to Stonk's house and beat the shit out of him.
I wish. I fucking wish.
Oh man. Alright, well, does anyone have anything else to add?
It's mid.
Mid. I don't know. I feel if it had a much better start and spent time to it, this show could easily be like a 9 out of 10. Maybe even 10 out of 10. Probably 9 out of 10 because of all just the flaws that at the end anyways. But yeah, maybe 8. 8 or 9, something like that. 8, 9, or 10. Nah, 8 or 9. Has to be 8 or 9. But what's it called? Yeah, I honestly think this show needed to taken just a bit more time for each arc, and also the author needed to take a bit more time into how does this make the characters look, and are they justified in this way of thinking, or does this way of thinking even make any sense? Are they actually changing, or are they staying the same? And what's it called? Let me think. What else? There's one other, but it escaped my mind.
Then get it back.
Oh, and is there change that happening here? Was it warranted from what was happening before? Like those are all things that I think the author could have used a little bit more on, like of ideas. This show, and it's mostly because I'm just disappointed because I really wanted to like this show. I mean, at first I just wasn't in the mood for like, I was like, oh, this is just the average rom-com, isn't it? And I was like, blah blah blah, and we were just hating Stonks for suggesting it. But then it actually, it went from this is a rom-com and Stonks suggested it to this is a rom-com with amazing fucking potential, genuinely funny at sometimes, and shit like that. But they completely fall flat on a lot of the scenes and whatnot, and aren't given the time to flesh out. And it's like, we hate it because we can see that it could do far better. Rather than it. It's like, damn. Especially because of some of the flaws. Alright. I think that...
It got suggested by me.
Yeah. Wait, what?
And you forgot, and it got just suggested by me.
I literally said that.
No, you said it once, but you had to say it after what you think of at the end.
All right, so
at the end of the day, I still recommend.
Yeah, yeah, it was just one of those things. Like, god damn, we completely just felt like this show could have been so much fucking better in so many ways. Oh man, Kyrie, I don't think anyone has anything left. Do you think that was an accurate summarization, Kyrie?
Yeah, I have one last thing. You know what? Thinking about it, like, this is the most, like, feels like a complete package, I guess. I haven't, usually they have, like, several seasons for it. This, and just the movie and the 12 episodes was pretty complete.
Yeah.
I feel. Yeah.
I'm not even disappointed if it doesn't get anything, like, after it. Because, like, it really felt like it actually ended, and I was like, yeah. I did tell my girlfriend that it's like, hey, I think you would love the ending. Oh yeah, that's what we forgot to talk about. The fucking
ending.
Oh my god. Alright, so I fucking loved that ending where all the girls confess to him. Every single one. And then he's like, alright. So I finally won. Everyone's saved. He broke up with her and everything like that for me. And it's like, alright. Y'all been wanting my answer. And I always answered that I don't have a crush on anyone or whatnot. And y'all obviously know that's changed, but y'all don't know who for. Alright. Nancy. I love you, and I want you to be my girlfriend forever.
Oh, no, not that. Oh! No! Oh, no!
And then she was so fucking happy. She was like...
And then he just turns around. Then he just turns around.
He turns around. Hinata, I want you to be my best friend forever.
I want you to be my wife.
Yeah, it's stuff
That's
like...
what he said.
Now, one of them he said best friend or something, which was weird. And I was like, what?
No, to fucking...
I don't know who, but...
So, it was Sakura that after.
Yeah. The names,
and then he said, I
saw
want you to be my wife.
Hinata and Sakura. But yeah, what's it called? The two that are like so diametrically opposed to one another. But what's it called? But yeah, he turned to Akino, said it as well. Turned to Hina, said it as well. And then they're all just like increasingly getting angry. And then he said the actual worst idea. It's like, okay, so I understand wanting to be in a harem and everything like that, but the worst idea of wanting to be in a harem is saying you get Mondays, you get Tuesdays, you get Wednesdays, you get Thursdays. It was like, why?
What?
It's like I honestly feel like that usually defeats the purpose of a harem. It's like, nah. In my idea of a harem, I like the idea of everyone always being there at once, not you get X day and whatnot. I've always
my
hated
brain
that.
just committed suicide.
But yeah, he just 100%, because he said, well, if you have dreams, then you might as well try to accomplish them, because everyone there said we all have goal, like, I have my goal, I'm doing it. And then someone else, I have my goal and I'm doing it. And he's like, I have my goal and I'm doing it. And so he pretty much did the exact same thing. I have my goal, I'm doing it. And what his goal was to be in a massive harem with them. And then what's it called? And then they're like, what? You want to have a harem with us four? And then they're like getting like increasingly angry. It's like, you're right. Friday is completely left open. And then turns to the fucking tsundere. It's like, I think you could make my Fridays better. It's like, would you be my Friday wife? I fucking died. I died. It was just too fucking funny. Oh my god. As much as they hated that response, it is one thing that did show that his feelings toward them have drastically changed. Because at first, like, what's it called? The main Pansy should have been happy, because at first it was he literally hated her and did not see her as girlfriend material. And now he wants her to be part of the harem, which no matter what, is still a step up. It's closer. It's on her path to becoming the only girl there. But I can see why they would hate it. It's so fucking funny. So, oh my god, I died laughing at that ending. That was probably the funniest fucking ending for it. I say ending, but they did have something after it. But yeah. You know. Nah, I just completely. Oh man, that ending, I just laughed so hard. I was just laughing nonstop. I couldn't fucking breathe. Oh man. All right. Now, is there anything anyone wants to say?
I think that's all for now.
All right.
I'm done.
Thank you for joining us for Weebanomics. This has been Kyrie Luminous at KyrieLuminous on Twitter.com, and these have been my co-hosts.
This was Stonk Salesman at StonkyMonkey on Twitter.com.
This is Smug Homeslice at SmugHomeslice@Twitter.com.
Yo, Smug was alive all along.
Yeah.
The biggest plot twist ever.
You know it.
Holy shit.
It was just like the show. Keikakudori. Bye.
Bye.
God, this really was a better Death Note than Love is War.